What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Redriveraviation. Hope you guys had a fantastic day today. And today we have the August 2023 Tulsa International Airport update for you guys. I really hope you guys are excited for today's Tulsa International Airport updates. We have some various moving pieces here today. We have a bunch to go over, and overall a very exciting update in store for the end of the summer here at TUL. So I hope you guys are excited for this. And without any further delay, let's go ahead and get started. Changing it up today, let's go ahead and start over here at the Alpha Concourse. Typically do not do this, but I thought it'd be nice to change it up since we usually always start over there at the Southwest section. So let's start with some of our different aircraft here instead for today's airport update. Beginning right here with the Delta Airlines Boeing 717-200 gate docked up here at Alpha 4. This flight's going to be your Atlanta Hartsfield Jackson International Airport service. Very standard. Have really enjoyed getting accustomed to the 717 here on a very regular basis, multiple times a day. Currently a 4 daily service. Delta has done really well with that flight. Always really consistent load factors and a really cool flight right there. So super proud of them for that. This service, like I said, over to ATL. Next in line right here, we have the Delta Connection Embraer J-170 filling in for SkyWest 175 as per usual. This aircraft's coming in from Salt Lake City, Utah. Yet another really good route here out of Tulsa. 2 daily as usual. Delta, once they get consistent, they usually do not deviate off of it. And they've been pretty consistent for about 2 years here. I think there's only been 1 or 2 times where they deviated off into a CRJ for this route. So very consistent here. We'd love to see it in the Delta 175. Of course, like I said, heading out to Salt Lake City, Utah. Docked up right here, gate Alpha 8. This is an American Embraer 175 for Envoy today. This aircraft came in from Austin Bertram International Airport. It has been towed over here before heading over to Chicago O'Hare International Airport tomorrow morning. American does not have enough jet bridges here to fulfill all the demand, which is good. Hopefully we get more jet bridges at some point. So in the meantime, he is currently over here at Alpha 8. However, when the international gate facility goes up over there by Alpha 2, where that currently is, perhaps American could overnight a plane there. So that would be another thought. It is kind of interesting though how they don't utilize the Allegiant gate, gate Alpha 3. I think that would be a good way to save some money for them. But it doesn't take, it does take effort, but not quite as much as it would be to haul it across the airport. It's just one gate over here. So certainly many ways to look at that, but certainly cool to see American getting plenty of service here at Tulsa as always, and they're doing pretty good. So that's fantastic. Okay, this American Airlines 737-800, of course, coming in from Charlotte Douglas International Airport. Not too many changes going on here. Been cool to see Charlotte continuing to do well here for American. PSA 900 and a 737 round out that service as usual. One of the higher performers here at Tulsa, bringing in typically around 80,000 passengers a year. It's been really fun to see this route progress, and I'm sure at some point it will be over 100,000. Not sure if it will be immediately, but I'm sure that it will be matching that here in the near future at some point as Charlotte continues to expand with various new various new I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase it, but obviously like the Carolina Aviation Museum, not quite demand related, but that was interesting, but a 4th runway more demand related, and new concourse and everything. As the airport continues to expand, would probably be the best phrase to utilize. Here at Alpha 9, we have this American Airlines Airbus A319-100 in poor lighting. I'll try to get a better shot of it here later in the update. This aircraft's coming in from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. So this is one of the biggest changes for the month, which is kind of, I wouldn't say sad, but it's more of a slower month here going into the latter part of summer here as everybody kind of has their schedules kind of solidified at this point. So American operating some 319s this month, which is really cool to see. As you know, they typically operate 737s in the regional jets. We have those along with some E319s making it in the schedule. So there's one earlier in the day and then one at the 12 a.m. arrival, in addition to an A320 at 10 a.m. So cool to see that. American doing a really good job there with the variety, and it's been cool to see this route really showcasing some various aircraft here for Tulsa International Airport. So looking good. At gate Alpha 7, you have the American Embraer 175. This will be a SkyWest example today, coming in from Los Angeles International Airport, and now as Envoy will be heading over to Phoenix. So cool to see both those routes continuing to be some Tulsa's better performers. As I was talking about in the last update, Phoenix will be going up to 2 daily valid in November. How exciting is that? And hopefully LAX service will be expanded upon in the near future, as I think going to double daily there would be a huge get, but for the moment, they did try in 2021. 2021 probably wasn't the best time to try it, so maybe they can circle back around to that idea in the future. We will have to see, but for the moment, this Embraer 175 is heading over to LA after coming in from Phoenix, or vice versa, sorry, wrong way around. Okay, so this American Embraer J-170 is coming in right now from Chicago O'Hare International Airport, and once again, we'll be heading over to New York LaGuardia International. I know the New York LaGuardia is supposed to be, or we'll send it to Washington this time. Both those LaGuardia and Washington are supposed to be 175, so I apologize about that. Trying to be fairly efficient, but I guess I just need to throw in more planes for more activity just to give us some fun. But there's already literally 5 170s as it is. So, but it's all good, as it's good to get some variety in here, and American certainly showcasing that here with this Emerald 170 again for Envoy and heading out as Republic. So good to see this route doing good, and that's what we'd love to see. And lastly, for the Alpha Concourse, we have the Allegiant Air Airbus E320-200. I think it's a 212. This aircraft's coming in right now from the Dustin-Fort Walton Beach International Airport on turnaround. It's been great to have that service. It's been very successful this summer, which is really cool to see. So just transitioned into a 2 weekly frequency through the end of October here, as it was 3 weekly up until like August 13th or something. So cool to see that. Allegiant doing good there, and excited to see where their forte thrives into the future here on that route.
Alrighty guys, what's going on? Wanted to jump in here really quick and give some brief updates in regards to the Tulsa Airport updates, so let's go ahead and get started. First and foremost, this will be the final airport update of the current display, so I want to give a huge shout out to this display that we've utilized since, I think May of 2019 or something absolutely ridiculous. This display has been really cool. Of course, we painted over it a couple years ago, but this display certainly had its fair share of memories, and I've really enjoyed it, so I hope you guys did as well, and want to give a huge shout out once again to this display, as this will be its final update. So just crazy to think about, but it is time for a new display, and I really hope you guys are looking forward to that next month in September of 2023. In addition, we have a bunch of news coming in that update. We'll have so much to talk about, and I'm really looking forward to it in regards to the airport, from Aviation Day to another new route that I'm really excited to talk about, and a bunch of infrastructure improvements and logistics. We have so much to dive into there, and I really hope that you guys are looking forward to that as well. So that's going to be absolutely awesome. And yeah, kind of was speculating around in this video a little bit, and most of it went pretty well. So looking forward to the next update. We'll talk about it all there, but I thought I'd at least hop in and say, yes, I have acknowledged that there is a new route, Aviation Day happened, so on and so forth, but I wanted to leave it all for a really big update coming up and kind of give this display its formal send-off, and next month will be even better, and I hope you guys are looking very forward to that. So really hope you guys are excited for it. It's going to be awesome, but nevertheless, let's jump back into this video to round it out for this display. Let's get into it, everybody.
Route, excuse me. This Learjet 75 is taxiing out for departure. This aircraft came in earlier today from Las Vegas Harry Reid International Airport. Now it's going to be making a service over the Birmingham, Alabama Birmingham International Airport. I believe that's what it's called. Could be wrong. There might be some sort of name associated, so I apologize if there is. Okay, the shade's going to go to United today. Here is their Embraer 175 for SkyWest coming in from Chicago O'Hare. Been a really good route. They've done very well there, getting off of the CRJ 200, so that's been nice, and eager to see where that service will take United going into the near future. So very exciting there, and they've done a really good job in general. Really tight frame to change it up here as macro mode decides that it's time to go lower. But here's the United Airlines Airbus E319-100 coming in from the Denver International Airport today. Been really cool to see mainline continuing to thrive here. Glad that it's doing great, and Denver is a great place with a bunch of connecting opportunities. So good job on United for going head to head there with Southwest. They've done a really good job, and ultimately super proud of their efforts there heading on into Colorado. So very cool there for United, and they continue to thrive. Thriving also with their Houston mainline service on the 737-900ER, as we can see here with this Evo Blue example. Cool to see that United has been really consistent here, because typically in the past at Tulsa they have not been, but pretty much since 2022 they have. In the winter of 2023, they gave a 175 to Denver for a couple months, but that was pretty much it. That only lasted for a couple months. So outside of that little deviation, we've had mainline to both Houston and Denver very consistently, which has been cool. So Denver, they flirted with for several years pre-pandemic and finally kind of got there before the pandemic struck. And Houston, they were much more consistent with their, I think it was around 2018 when they started really getting after that, 2019. But obviously pandemic happened, had to take a break. And then coming off of the pandemic, they got finally after that, especially in 2022. And here we are in late 20, or I guess not late, but mid to late 2023, and they're really made a name for themselves in that department. So very cool right there, and excited to see where it goes from here. Backing up a little bit for this Cessna 172 right here, this aircraft's making a service from none other than Muskogee, Oklahoma. That's a small airport you may have saw several times. Muskogee and Okmulgee airports in my trip ports from Tulsa to Dallas, because we pretty much fly past that every time. And somehow every single time it's always ended up on my side of the plane, which is just hilarious. But yeah, certainly very cool to see that, and excited to see where it goes from there on that. So that's a turnaround to Muskogee Airport. Hello, Breeze on the Airbus A220-300 today. This is going to be, unfortunately, our final non-stop service to Orlando, as we'll be turning into a breeze through with the New Orleans service coming in. So certainly a trade-off there, but really excited for our New Orleans service to finally return, and hopefully Orlando will be heading back over to a non-stop twice weekly service here very soon. It's performed super well, so I would be shocked if they don't add it back as a non-stop very soon. I think it's more of a logistical issue than anything right now, so maybe Breeze just taking a couple of weeks, or no, weeks isn't really the right phrase, a couple months here to reevaluate and see what they can do on that. So rooting for them all the way there, and glad to see that New Orleans will be coming back next month. Very excited for that, and expect a bunch of coverage on that coming up. So again, service out to service over to Orlando. And then, of course, we have our various Southwest Airlines aircraft here. 4 hearts today, which is looking good. We have our 737-700 on the bottom left. This aircraft came in from, let's see here, Austin Bergstrom International Airport. Now it's going to be pushing service, and it's going to get tugged over to one of these gates. It's going to be headed over to Dallas Love Field next. And we have a 737-700 at Gate Bravo 5 coming in from Denver International Airport. Now it's going to be heading over to St. Louis, also doing really good. A 737 MAX 8 coming in from Houston Hobby, and now it's going to be heading on over to Phoenix Sky Harbor. And lastly, at B1, a 737-800 coming in from Lost Wages, and now it's going to be heading over to Chicago Midway. So certainly really cool to see all the various Southwest routes. This is the biggest network they've ever had at Tulsa, so it's really exciting, and I'm hopeful that they can get to a dozen routes and even beyond that. They're currently at 9 with the Saturday-only Orlando service returning. I'm thinking it's like October 9th or something like that, but it will be a Saturday, Sunday through the fall months, which will be exciting, then a Saturday only through the rest of the winter. So good job, Southwest. Load factors were great earlier this year, so hopefully they'll continue to match that standard and do even more with it. So very cool right there. Bouncing on over, let's get a different perspective, kind of change it up, might as well, over here on the backside here of the cargo planes. I know the lighting is not crazy great, but thought it would be nice to kind of get a little bit closer to them and everything for different. So the Coletta Charter 727, Coletta Charters 2 that is currently coming in from Cincinnati, and we'll be heading back out there. I have no idea what it's going to be this month. I had to pre-record this one, so could be 727, could be 737-400, could be a DHL 737-400, could be a DHL 737-800. I have no idea. I'm just taking a fair guess. The good news is probably every single one of those will be in at some point this month, so including this one right here. So certainly glad to have this model, and it's a very cool piece. It's the airport updates, no doubt about it. And sorry about the board. This UPS Airbus E300 freighter is currently making a service right now, coming in from Louisville, and we'll be heading back out there. So cool to see that. Got to go to Louisville during the summer. That was really fun. So really enjoyed that. Great experience in Louisville. It's a really cool place for a variety of reasons. And then we have the FedEx Express 767-300 freighter. This aircraft's currently making a service in from none other than Memphis, and we'll be heading back out there. Cool to see how much progression that route's made over the years, and hopefully even more to come. So very excited for that, and that'll be absolutely fantastic. Okay, we got a couple taxiers here for 3-6 right before we conclude today's airport update. Apologies about the board again. I would have liked to put them on 1-8. That would have been a little bit more realistic, but we have had some more north winds this summer, which has been a little unusual. So this kind of ends up working out anyways. So taxiing out for departure number 3 in line, we have this American Embraer 175. This will be a, let's see here. I believe this, I'm trying to think of the route I'm missing. I'm missing one. What am I missing here? I didn't get Miami, that's one. That will be Envoy, and there's one other route that's completely slipped my mind. It was LaGuardia, yes, okay. So this aircraft is Republic in from Miami, heading out to LaGuardia. Miami, hopefully becomes a daily service soon, but for now is a Saturday only, so rooting for them all the way on that. Hopefully they'll be able to make that happen, and LaGuardia going really well, so very glad about that, and still super glad to have it after being absent from a New York service for many years, I believe 8. Which is kind of unacceptable, but what can I say? It might have been 7, but it was a significant amount of time. Number 2 in line, we have this American Airlines 737-800. This will not be a revenue service. This is a maintenance service today. This is going to be making a local flight around the area to test some engines and some various avionics and whatnot. So typically you would not see them on this side. They would be on the other side of the runway here getting ready to taxi out, but due to sizing constraints, I thought that this would be the best way to format it here, as I don't really have a better place to put it with another aircraft on the runway. So that is what we have right here. So looking really, I guess I could have flopped over the plane that's on the runway, but you know what? Have some fun with it. Sometimes I've seen them do it a couple times, so it's not completely out of the book, just not standard. But hey, what kind of airport update would it be if everything was standard? So All right, macro mode, I'm giving you a chance here. Hate macro mode with a passion. I wish there was just a nice big fat button on here that would just let me do it, but nevertheless, here we go in focus for our final aircraft at today's airport. Alrighty, here we go. Sorry about that, everybody. But nevertheless, our final aircraft at today's airport update is going to be yet another Allegiant Air aircraft. So there are times where there are very close arrivals and departures. The closest definitely being the Destin service and the Orlando service. So of course this will be heading over to Orlando. So Orlando typically comes in at about, it depends, usually on Monday and Friday this aircraft comes in at like 6:15 and then leaves at like 7, and then Destin typically will come in at like 8:15ish. So there are times where they've overlapped a couple times due to an Orlando delay. But typically Destin's been the one getting delayed a little bit more, but both of them have been pretty on time. There's been a couple delays in here, but let's say this guy's going out to Orlando a couple behind and should be able to make up some lost time there and only arrive in about 15 minutes late for all of our passengers heading over to Orlando for the weekend. And just like that, that'll do for today's Tulsa International Airport update. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this one. Apologies that there weren't many big movements. I had to pre-record this one or I would have had some more news regarding some upcoming events and everything, so I'm sorry about that. But this is probably going to be the final time that you'll be seeing this board. So the plan is, and hopefully as of right now, as of this getting uploaded, the layover layout has been fully completed and delivered to me, and hopefully a video on that will be coming out, if not around this time, very soon. I'm looking very forward to that, as this, apron has really served me well, or ramp, whatever you'd like to call it. Dating back to when I made the actual diorama itself in August of 2019. Yeah, 4 years ago, which is pretty surreal. And then ended up painting the board, I believe it was January of 2022, so about a year and a half ago. And now here we are in 2023, and it's time for the next step. So the concourse that I've been talking about for quite some time, in fact, I think there even is a little slither there that I can show you. There it is right there in the other room. That terminal that debuted late last year and early this year will finally be making its debut in conjunction with the mat. The terminal, I just wanted to leave it all for one, in addition to it not fitting on this anyways. I think it was too short, I'm pretty sure. It might have been too, I think it might have been too big, I can't remember, but some sort of dimension was off with it. So but I'm really excited to get that mat in here. It's gonna be awesome, and I'm looking forward to it. So the mat, once again, and if I remember, I'll put a screenshot in right here. So the mat is the full concourse right here in both concourses on the full terminal. And it has a couple of the hard stance that I have represented here, and then a little bit more room to breathe. The full terminal goes on it, which is nice, and so on and so forth. So it looks really good. I'm very happy with it, and I think it'll be a great addition to the airport itself, which is just going to take it to the next level. So September will be a very big month for the channel. Looking forward to it. We have some really fun day trips planned, some fun activities, a bunch of new content, hopefully, and everything in between. I just want to say, I don't know exactly when in August this video is coming out, but I want to say a huge thank you to everybody bearing with me on the real life content. That's been a huge struggle this summer. I've been making a bunch of it, which is the good news. The problem is I just haven't had time to post any of it, which is kind of a problem. So I have, literally, I'm not even kidding, at this point, if everything went according to plan, I should have somewhere in the ballpark of like 40 flights in the queue for a trip report, which is pretty whack. I will be combining some of them, so that'll kind of alleviate it. But still, even at that, like at least 20 videos, which is kind of crazy to think about, but it'll be super fun to produce all that at some point. So I'm looking very forward to that. It's certainly been a very busy year. You may have saw my mid-summer channel update I did last month that goes into a bunch of detail on it, and maybe even some more videos at this point. So looking very forward to it. It has been one heck of a summer, and I appreciate everybody supporting me along the way. It's been an absolute pleasure to make so many great model videos, and that's been a good perk of this. And the good news is I will be home this semester for college, so it will be really nice to have some more time with the models and everything. So it'll be a nice, balance there, and obviously a bunch of real life content still to be made. And I have a bunch of desires, obviously, in terms of content too. I want to get a new model airport going, and I have a bunch of ideas that I would like to make videos on. Just haven't had a chance because this summer has been a blink, but it's been very fun every step of the way, and I'm really excited for the fall, as even though school starts, I'll have a bunch of time to reevaluate everything and get back on track in multiple regards. I also want to give a huge shout to Airliners International 2024, which will be in Kansas City, Missouri from June 26th to 29th of 2024. Definitely make your reservations. Head over to airlinersinternational.org. As you can see there, I went to the Chicago and Dallas shows over the last 2 years. Great convention, a bunch of content should be flowing out for that. I hope that everybody is very excited for that convention, and it's going to be a bunch of fun. But I thought I'd give a huge shout out to it, as we're going for a huge showing over there in Kansas City. So definitely get ready for that. Get your hotel reservation made, so on and so forth. Looking very forward to it. And I hope each and every one of you are as well. And somehow I have so much content on my phone that I'm about to fill up a 512 gigabyte iPhone 14 Pro Max at 1080p. So it is time to conclude this video. But Tulsa's doing really good. Have really enjoyed the progress here, and I hope you guys are excited for more of that to come here in the near future, as we have a bunch of exciting movements going into the future, and ultimately a really fun 2023 ahead. And then 2024, I'm sure big objectives are on the horizon. Hopefully some more new routes, and just overall a great expansion here to what we're already doing here at Tulsa International Airport. So with all that being said, everybody, that'll do for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Take it easy, everybody. Stay safe. Trust the process. Do you love what you do. My name is Redriveraviation. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys soon, as Redriveraviation is signing off.